Voices carry journeys from quiet homes to crowded streets. Worlds unfolding in a conversation, an educational podcast, a circle of minds learning from each other. Aphamazwi ethathibana khona aphivelaphi zethu zibalisa amabali indawo yokwabelana ngezimvo ngehlabathi. Asifaya podcast imikhali ikhuzulwa ngumahle sive ngicela umfo wasemamfeleni olisa ohlathi ojambase imfene zimabutho ahlutana ukuthola kwelanga. Asifaya podcast.
We are until 59, 58.
Yeah, 58 to an hour.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, the way la promo yetu idlala for 58 seconds.
Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, we can start anyway because catch up.
Oh,
We now have a disclaimer. Le ukuthi ndiyifake yokuba izinto ozithethayo ziza uzaziphendulela. Are you good?
Yes.
All right. Whenever you're ready, Spicho, you ready?
yeah.
Got you. Welcome everyone on the new episode. Today I have a very special guest, extraordinaire, Mongameli the MC in the house. Mongameli, thank you so much for joining us on Asvai. Yeah, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I've been looking forward to this, and I'm not alone. I welcome you guys. Please don't forget to subscribe. I'm with Spicho Makaveli. How you doing, my brother?
I'm good. And how are you, sir?
Great. Yeah.
Each other.
Level.
Yeah. When I was doing my research and then checking our guest today, Umongameli the MC, I was like, yay, Sivan. Sisengxakini namhlanje personality yomfethu is bigger than life, so ndinetyutyu. So welcome my brother Mongameli the MC. Who is Umongameli the MC? How's introduce Brian?
Thank you very much, my good sir, and thank you, sir,
Don't worry.
for the invite. I am really appreciative that I honored the invite today. Okokuqala, uMongameli the MC, it's Khatliso Sididi. The name is Khatliso, and then the surname is Sididi,
Okay.
hailing from the Eastern Cape, Estekspruit.
Okay.
Yes, that is where I'm coming from. Ekhaya kusemlamli.
Okay.
Kusemlamli, yes. And you know, when growing up, and then you tend to see the kind of personality you have and how you influence people. That's what initiated Mongameli the MC.
Okay.
And Mongameli the MC is basically it's a name that I was given by my principal while I was still in St. Teresa.
Okay.
I used to have a principal there when I did my grade 12. They used to call me Mongameli. Okay, yes, I was the SRC president and all those things. And then Mongameli grew from there. But now when it grew with the personality and this person is good when it comes to public speaking. He speaks well, he's eloquent, and if you take him, you put him in front of people, he gives you the best.
Okay.
It just depends on what you want to do.
Okay.
So when I looked at myself and when people perceived what I did not see, then they saw this person can be a good master of ceremony. And while I was still trying to find my feet on that, a lot of things kept on coming. You know, when I even started, if I'm not going overboard with what you said, I should introduce myself. There was a time whereby the first gig that I had, I was attending a wedding whereby the MC who was supposed to coordinate the event was drunk when he got to the event.
Yeah.
And the guys were like, we can't use this person. It was in Velcom. 2019. And when that happened, I see where people are panicking now. The event has to start.
There's no master of ceremony.
Yeah, but I stood from the back there. I went to the guys. I called the one organizing, Kari, what is the hold up? or no, the MC came drunk and now we can't move. We are trying to see
Start
what is
the
that.
program.
I was worrying on point, everything was fine. I was like, all right,
we're ready.
give me the program. Let's go through a brief history of
Items.
the people that are getting married. Okay, this is the program. What's not, who is getting married, where are they from, and stuff like that. At least you see, in such events, you should know the people you are dealing with.
Yeah,
Even
yeah,
if it's a
yeah.
brief history.
Yeah.
So they gave me that. I said, we'll talk after the event. I'm starting the event. The way they were so
Shocked
shocked.
and
Really,
relieved.
this guy, what is happening now?
Yeah.
I did the event. Without even finishing the event, the old man came to say, hey, good people, I must tell you how did this gentleman came about to MC here, because he's a guest and he
Yeah.
ended up MCing because of a person who came to MC.
Mm.
Okay, because of Popia Act, we can't disclose. you
Yeah,
understand? But
yeah.
I did it, and then that is where it all started.
Yeah.
And one thing about me, I don't market myself.
Your work
If
does.
I attend your event,
Mm.
the people in his event are the ones that are going to tell the ones that are not there. So that is how this will connect, and people will know about Mongameli the MC and invite me into such places.
Word of mouth.
That's the Mongameli, the MC that you see sitting here today.
Yeah. Fascinating story.
That's amazing. I wish you take it right there before we even go back on the upbringing. Like, has it gone to a point where it surprised you, where you're like, I just didn't think this thing would bring me this far?
It used to be like that until I had to learn to live with it. Because right now you can even wake me midnight and say, hey, this is the program, do this, or this is the keynote address, you are delivering the keynote address, do this. I'm just ready, because that is basically what I do. That is basically what I do. So it no longer gets me surprised, but I'm just doing it. And it's something that I don't do it for money. I don't do it for enjoyment. It's something that I enjoy doing. It's
Passion.
you understand?
Passion.
Yeah,
You're
it's
passionate
the
about
passion.
what you are doing. All right. Okay. Ndiyakuva ke bhuti wami. No, this is a podcast, so you can take the whole time you need to explain us something. So
Futhumela imoto. Hayi,
Madam,
I've never had imoto efuthumala ngexesha.
Yeah.
I believe there's something special about this episode. Number one, the audience will notice that I don't have a cap. They're like, this is the first episode ever since we started season 2
Yeah, you
without
know.
a cap. And there are some things that happened before, like we start the episode. This is
behind the
this is gonna
scenes.
be a special one. Yeah. But let's take it back for you growing up. Where were you born, and how was it growing up? What kind of family you coming from? Yeah. What are some of the principles maybe that they induce in you that
Yeah,
shapes you to
yeah,
be the man that you are today?
Yeah, hey, thank you, Mhlekazi wami. Well, as I've said earlier on, but mna ndiphume estek. That is why I speak fluent Xhosa and so to I was born in Umlamli village in the Eastern Cape. That is in Sterkspruit. And was fortunate enough that I was raised by a single mother. Utata mna ndimazi, Mhlekazi. Hayi, andimazi. Apparently wasweleka around 2000 and, well, I think I was 4 years old by then. But so ukhuliswa ngumama and ukhulela in a family full of Christians. That's what shaped me to become the person that I am today. I'm glad to tell you that I'm a full Christian, and I grew up in a Christian family. You would find that the upbringing was one of the. It was not challenging. It is just that, there are those families whereby you find the parents are strict to an extent that you do not get enough time, that you do things that are done by youth outside there and
Your
stuff. Because
peers.
one thing that I can tell you about, ekhaya abantu abadala ngoku kwi-siblings, it's me and my cousin brother. My cousin brother is older than me with a year. And then it's me after. Then the rest, they follow under us. So indlela besikhuliswa ngayo, and esikhule the same way, because you'd find that my history of upbringing is the same as his.
Theirs.
So ubuzawufumanisa into yoba most of the things that are done by the other youth outside to enjoy themselves, to experience things, to indulge in most of the things, we did not get that opportunity. Because in most cases, we go to school, xa ubuya esikolweni ungena endlini, you do your homeworks, you do the house chores, and even ne-house chores, we were not forced to do them.
But we were
The only
encouraged.
thing that our grandmother would tell us is that if you do not do this, then there's no one who's going to do it for you when we're not around. So that is how we would get to learn on how to do things for ourselves. For an example, in when we get to 6 years, umntu sekekazi uayina, uyakwazi uklina, uyakwazi upheka, of which all those things are paying off right now, because
Yeah.
you find that the person is staying alone, like you do everything. Even when you get a girlfriend or a partner, they get surprised to, hey man, I've never seen such a gentleman. Uyazayinela, ufuna uzihlambela,
Uyapheka.
uyapheka, ufuna izinto the way wena uzifuna ngayo. And you find that sometimes they even get afraid, because laa nto yento yoba,
Intimidated by that.
this gentleman is more organized than me, and now in this case imbeke koneni into yoba, I must pull up my socks so that ndibe yile ndlela endifuna uba ngayo. But ke all in all, I grew up in a very healthy family. Ndikhuliswa ngumamam, which she passed on 2001 in January. Thank you so much. So usikhulise ngendlela yento yoba, nogogo wam ke nabanye basikhulise ngendlela yento yoba, when you grow up, you should be, or when we are no longer here, you are alone, you should be able to do things on your own, and you should not depend on anyone. Because you see, when you grow up, you find that even the family that is there for your upbringing, immediately you grow up, you need to be on your own, do your own things. Because if we are, for an example, we are sitting here as a family, you are my brothers. Immediately you get to have your own family. Immediately, family yake. Obvious, you'll have to focus on your family. Yes, you are siblings, but you have your own family. You will do your own things that you want to see happening in your own family. Same applies to him. So, bonba I siyazenze. But one thing that I can say is that the upbringing was the best. That is why I'm able to sit here right now and say that, hey, the way I was raised is the one that makes me to be here. Otherwise, if I did not have that background, I doubt I would have been here by now. Because one thing for sure that I can tell you, mna ndingumntu othanda izinto bhuti. Andifuna ugqithwa. Every opportunity that I would see something, I would want to do it.
Yeah.
So the way we were raised, then you are able to check, does this one needs me or it doesn't at all? And then you are able to analyze things and say, if this one is not part of me, then I shouldn't do this one. I was not raised this way.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, it's a nice story. It's a nice story. Ngumkhaya, by the way. Because I'm also from Sterkspruit. Actually, I was born there. Yeah, imlamli ke sive famous nge hospital. There's a hospital there. Elalini. Yeah. So yeah. Never mind what is happening Goku with the politics and whatnot, the state of the country that is. Yeah.
But Imlamli, sorry to interject, it used to be one of the hospitals where they would do major operations. There's another hospital in town, but Mpilisweni. You would find that, okay, Imlamli, it's in the village and it's a bit far.
About 40 k's from town.
But now, one thing that makes it more even special is that you'd find that the patients leave town and go straight to the village hospital, because it used to be the hospital. And I believe that in the olden days, it was run by the Romans. So it used to have good doctors for transplants, for operations.
What time are we talking about here? After 1994 or?
I was actually born in Mlamli.
Is it?
Yeah.
So all this service is happening
pre 94.
Pre 94.
Yeah.
Oh,
without revealing our age.
Sounds amazing. I mean, there are a lot of things that we can talk about them like that in different cities when they were under different management, right?
Yeah.
Which is politics maybe for some day.
For another day.
Something interesting that you are saying. You're saying you were fortunate enough to be raised by a single mother. That was mind striking. I'm like, fortunate. Where do you highlight fortune around that? Because I mean, same situation, someone else can look at it differently as something that actually delayed them from.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know, Washe, one thing I can tell you, you will agree with me. When you look at the new generation right now, Baba Biza, I'm at 2000 for an example. Hey, there's a big challenge whereby you find that people are raised by two parents, but the major thing is that they have absent fathers. There's a higher rate of fathers that are present, but they're absent to their own kids. So I'm one person that when I look at this whole history, it's something that I wouldn't want to see happening in me. So I'm asking myself, if maybe Bexitwa ukhona ngelo xesha ibeyenzekile, would I have been the person that I am right now? You look at izinto ezenziwa, I'm a male, and I will be a father, God's willing, any time from now. And when I look at it, I pray to God that when I get the opportunity to become a father, I do not become an absent father. And I pray even the woman that would be the mother of that child supports me to an extent that we make sure that we give this child a good upbringing. Because you find that this thing of co-parenting, it's not the one. It's not healthy for the child, because some of its decisions they originate from how the history of the parents is. You cannot expect the child to become a good child and a healthy one if there's one of the parent who's absent. Same thing that happens to males who deny their children. The same thing that women also do. Sometimes women do deny their children. It's just that the problem is that with males, they do not air out their feelings. You find that they're going through a lot, but they will never air out such, especially with their kids, so that they can know what is happening. So in most cases, you find that there are those disagreements where you find, I would rather remain with my child as a mother. The father can go and stuff like that. But the problem is that with females, they shy away from is that, you see, with gentlemen, when you get it's easier to get a lady pregnant, but that responsibility after the person has become pregnant, that is where males need support. And it's so sad that we do not even get workshops whereby you find that people talk to us in terms of this thing, because we do not do family planning. Yes, we indulge into these sexual intercourses, and then the woman gets pregnant. Immediately the woman gets pregnant, and the problem starts now. But I don't want this. I'm not ready for this. Sometimes it's not that the person is not ready.
It's just a shock.
It's a shock, and the person doesn't have information about this whole thing. And you will agree with me when I tell you that in a relationship, a woman is always older than a man. In a relationship. So the way the woman decides, it defeats what a man decision would be. So in most cases, it's just that they do not get support, and they do not also get a guidance on how to go about such issues. That is why we have a lot of children with absent fathers, because they are many.
Yeah, which is a huge crisis in our country. A huge crisis. We also like tapping into family.
Yes,
and that's why most of the time we start from a background, upbringing and whatnot. So it's always nice having a guest, especially Umchita, with the straight head, and proper planning. When you strike me like a person who plans every move.
He speaks so detailed about family building and structure. I love it. And some of the things that you are saying, we actually had an abortion specialist right here.
Okay.
Let me see. One guest ago. So we had an abortion specialist. She was talking about how, like, the shock thing, but she didn't put it like that. You put it very interestingly. It's like over time, if they get, because she said something contrary to what you are saying. It's like women after pregnancy, immediately after they discover that they are pregnant, that's when they need support. And you saying it on the
opposite sex needs support.
Because
so both these agendas experience shock, the same shock, and then the reaction as well. From what I'm picking,
and you know what's the saddest part? The saddest part is you'd find that the support will only be focused, or they will only prioritize the women.
Yeah.
And that one on the other side is running away from because of the shock. And then now while that one is running away, we're going to call him names and stuff like that. But
Which is
because-
even the running away is just a reaction towards this thing. Agazba reacted.
And that's why later then they come to seek for
Back
they come
again,
back to "Mfuna umntanami."
Or- yeah.
by
Okay,
that
now
time
you're
a
on
person
your
has
senses.
grown,
Oh,
a person
man.
is in
Yeah.
his senses, and you get a bitter baby
Oh,
mama who say,
yeah.
I do not want
Yeah.
you next to my child.
There's that anger
Hey, bro.
and gap and whatnot.
I love it. But what do you think like would be maybe if a woman is like out there is like I really hear this and I want to do the same thing with maybe my partner or boyfriend who's gonna have a baby. I want to give them support. What do you think the support look like for a man?
You know, immediately the girl finds out that she's pregnant.
Mm.
You discuss it. You know, the other thing is that I would like the viewers to understand is that you choose the person you sleep with. You don't just sleep around. Because the other thing would be you just sleep around and then you happen to get pregnant. You understand where there's no history there, there's no base into all that. And therefore, in such a case, you cannot force someone to be there.
Yeah,
I'm
because you're
talking about
rushed into
males now.
things. Yeah.
As an example, there are these things they call them one night stand. Sidibane second avenue for an example, and then we go home together. In the next coming week, I only saw you once you are pregnant, and then you want to come to me and tell me that you are pregnant. Do you really expect me to say that I keep that and stuff like that? Because sometimes you find that I'm even married, I have my own kids. Yayibona?
And most of the times, the question that guys ask, Uba, okay, that weekend she left with me. The previous weekend before that one, she might have left with someone else.
You
And the weekend
understand.
after that,
It's the same
umkeno
case.
umye
It's the same case.
kwakhona.
Yayibona? So but now when you that happens with the person that you call your partner, the person you're in a relationship with, there's no way that person can fail to understand if he's brought down into books and you sit with the person down to say that, Yabon, okay, maybe that can be an elder person to say that, Yabon, I came for, in this case, you are going to be a father. Becoming a father is not something that you should fear. It just needs you to be there. Okay, yes, financially you must be there, but that doesn't mean that if finances are not there, you should run away. You know, one thing that I know, I'm not a father yet, but I have brought up other people's kids. I love kids so much. Abachana,
yeah.
my friends' children. As an example, right now, there's a friend of mine who has a child. He's about 4 years. The guy, the little boy, it's Tad. You know the relationship that we have with the guy. You would swear that that child is mine, and it's not even mine because now I've tried to instill in the child that as much as you do not have a father,
Yeah.
but the community is also part, it plays part in parenting.
I think most people don't understand that saying, but it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
That's where
that one is also tricky.
But
You
as
know-
you are saying,
Yeah,
Guti,
yeah.
you are a father to this guy. So Abelungu, they call it godfather.
Yes.
You are a godfather, that's your godson. Yeah. Nati, that saying Guti, it takes a village. But it depends on how you interpret it. Because
Yes,
some people
yes.
they only recognize it when it's time to discipline a
You
child.
understand.
Yeah, but when it's time to help that child or extend a helping hand to that child, abazingeni uphi mamakhe or uphi utata wakhe, yabo.
You know, that's why I always say that the most important thing, it's the presence of the father into the child. Finances can follow, but the present support. You know, when the child is born, let the father be there. The presence on its own, they create
It
something.
means a lot.
They change the whole environment.
Yeah.
So that is the most important thing. You know what? If you can see your child immediately when he or she is born, I am telling you, you can never run away from that because that experience itself just shows you into by yay.
I agree with you.
This woman suffered while I was sitting there looking at her in labor. There's no way that I can leave this child. And if you can check, when I'm checking these children that have absent fathers, they are so beautiful. They are so handsome. They are so fresh, healthy. And these guys, when they are running outside there, they see their children. They become so bitter. Because remember, you will leave this child with the mother. You deny the child. Afike umongameli the MC okanye afike usive phaya bayefika pha abengu stepfather abengutata omncinci abengumalume
ngemali yencwadi.
You understand? I'm talking about the same books that we see here. You understand? Asupport umntana ngengowakhe. And xa isupporta lo mntana kwenzeka ntoni? Umbone wena ngelo xesha uhamba ngesihlangu esiphelileyo pha on the streets, and then you become bitter to say that how can this woman allow someone else to be the father of my child? You start calling, hey, I'm requesting for the child and stuff like that. They start becoming bitter, and now they abuse these women because now it's like they can see you suffering.
Now that you find happiness now, bafuna
That's their they will even come back sometimes. They say, Raya, I've made a mistake here. I might as well go back. You're distracted the whole relationship. And Ngelo Kashomtana is already used to the stepfather. Hence, I'm saying that it is not about money. Yes, money is needed for the upbringing of the child. But your presence as the biological father in the child's life is very important. This thing of when you get a woman pregnant, after that your feelings start to deteriorate or something. That thing is witchcraft, man. There's nothing like that.
Yeah.
You learn to love the person you are with. It's not that you automatically love the person.
And by the time you are able to make a child, you are also in a right state of mind to understand that the same woman will go through some physical
because you
changes,
know what you want,
psychological changes and whatnot.
So that thing, I want to think that in this family issue that we're talking about, I really wish that it gets to a point. You see, they would have, we used to have this initiatives of taking a girl child to work, taking a boy child to work, but the system is failing us, where you'd find that women are more prioritized than men. Just to deviate a bit from that, you would find that most of the time we say that women are abused more. This, you see, like gender-based violence. We have gender-based violence whereby you are focusing on women and children. But now, what happens with the men? Do you want to tell me that they do not get abused?
Hey, my brother.
Emotionally, physically, don't they get abused?
Financially.
Yeah, bruh. Don't talk about finances now.
There are some parents who have been taken as an ATMs and things like that. Yeah, but anyway, if family dynamics plays a huge role, my brother, plays a huge role. And I'm glad the way you narrated it, Tuba, you're fortunate, raised by a single parent, and that didn't affect you negatively and things like that. Because we are here to promote positive vibes, positive mentality and whatnot. And again, looking at where we come from, our areas and things like that, we're coming from underdeveloped places, but that underdevelopment we can't be coming underdeveloped areas now with 2040, whereas we have all the means and the resources. They might be minimal as they are, but at least in mindset, you can always again move from that disadvantaged area to a better place.
True.
As human beings, we migrate in throughout from rural to urban, from urban, jalo. So fast forward to umongameli, the MC. Where are you based now? And what keeps you going now?
Currently based in Bloemfontein, but the kind of work that I do makes me to travel all around. I can say all around the world, because this master of ceremony, yesterday I was emceeing at the event of Marumo Gallants. They were opening their park where they train from, Marumo Gallants.
Marumo Gallants FC.
Yes, Marumo Gallants FC.
Okay.
So this guy this gentleman is coming to me. He's one of the sponsors and asking me, "Hey, my good sir, I've seen you somewhere. Like, what are you doing? Are you part of the organizers here?" No, I'm an MC. You are the Mongameli, the MC. Yes, that's me. No, man, I knew that I've seen you somewhere before. No, say, you see here, you are not MC. You are not MC here. What do you mean? He sat down, he narrated the whole story. See, in your level, when you say MC, we use that in the funerals there.
Okay.
In the funerals, you can use MC, Master of Ceremony.
Yeah.
Here, in such events, corporate events, and such big events, because it was an event of above 650 people that attended. It's like, no. You see, you are a PD. You are not, when you introduce yourself, you must
Program
be,
director.
yes, you must be like a doctor or program director. You cannot be an MC here.
MC
Those are the moral services, the funerals. But here, when you talk about such corporate events, you are a PD, program director all the way. So you'll find that I travel a lot because of Mongameli, the MC. I get to be invited into weddings, workshop. I do public speaking, also motivation, metric. Hey, you see, when it comes to the metric dances, it's a challenge because you find that just like last year I had about 36 events, only metric farewells.
Sure.
So it's Kimberley, it's Vryburg, it's Bloemfontein, East London, PE. I have to travel Grahamstown, and you find that sometimes others they are clashing with the dates.
The dates are the same.
I am so grateful with how people are taking my work serious, because there was a situation whereby 3 schools had the same metric farewell. Okay, there are events that I take as a pro bono. I do them for free, as much as we know that not everything is for free. But to give back to the community, you check the history of these events, and then you decide, you know what, because of the students, you need to do such, you need to give back to them. So you found that they are on the same day, which was Friday, and they had the same date. One thing that I appreciated the most is that I don't know how they did it, how they communicated among themselves. They are far apart from each other. But one thing that I know is that there's a principal who managed to get all of them. They talked through the phone, and then they were able to say that, ladies and gentlemen, we need this gentleman. And therefore, can we try to improvise and come up with a plan on how to have him in all
these?
And they changed the dates. The dates were different. And then
just to accommodate you.
And I did go to
honor
all of them.
those invitations.
I honored all of them.
That's great.
And in the same question that you asked, there are times whereby when we give back to the community. Last year, I had Mongameli, the MC, sanitary pad drive. Where I gave about 12 schools in Bloemfontein sanitary towels. It's something that is done by most of organizations, most of companies, to give back to the community and stuff. But I did it in such a way that no one has ever done it. Because when we go to school, we go just before they start with the trial examination. Grade 12, grade 11, and grade 10. And when we go there, we go with psychologists, we go with social workers, we go with the mental institute, because what we are trying to instill into them, it's motivation. And for them to avoid, yes, when you're writing examination or when you attend interviews, there's always anxiety. So we go with them, we give them these sanitary towels, and at the same time with the boys, we say that, yes, we know that exams are very frustrating and what's not, but how can you be able to tackle exams? We are not, you see, sometimes we as intellectuals, we like bringing documents that these children should read and stuff, how to avoid stress, how to avoid things. Sometimes just bring yourself and put yourself in front of these students and talk about the reality.
And be practical.
You understand? And the more you become practical, that is where you involve them so that they can be able to share their experiences also. You would be visiting a certain school and you find out, the challenges that these students have, it's something that can be sorted out by talking alone. It doesn't need doctors, it doesn't need social, it just needs psychologists to sit down with them and they converse.
Yeah, talking about that, I have a friend who's a teacher. He says that a lot. This student has a lot of potential, but background, So we end up, we're going through a lot. We end up now being a social worker, we have to counsel these children and things like that. Even this thing feeding scheme esikolweni, uthi umbone nje uba omnye the last proper meal this kid had was here Friday.
You understand?
Yeah, then back on Monday again, Monday morning, you could tell ukuthi yes, even yabona,
It's a bad situation.
yeah,
It's
so
a bad situation.
I like your approach. I saw that initiative on social networks. I saw it, and yeah, but now that you are explaining it, it makes more sense. And what we saw on the socials, it's what everyone else is doing. But now that you are
Yes,
explaining
yeah,
it,
yeah,
good, okay,
yeah.
you also went with the social workers,
Because the other
psychiatrists.
thing that must make you unique as a person, especially when you do the same thing, you must always have a different strategy. Because it's a uniform thing to donate things. But now, what do you want the outcome to be
Yeah.
when you do that?
Yeah.
As an example, he has a book,
Yeah.
and when he donates the book, maybe I make for an example, Sive would want to promote the book. And then I have a book for an example, and then I give it out. And then now my aim would not be to promote the book, but for people to hear what is written on the
Inside
book.
the book.
Because I'm transferring the information,
Yeah.
and another person is transferring what the book so that it can be sold. So most of the time it should be the content, not what you are giving
The
away. Yeah,
packaging,
let it be the content that is able to change someone's life. So hence I chose that strategy. You know what? I'm not going to this school for motivation. Sometimes they've been motivated a lot. So let me go and motivate them and give them something that will assist them at the end.
Yeah.
So you leave those sanitary pads and you talk to them. And again, you'd find that they take sanitary pads, they give to these kids. They don't even take them through the sanitary pad itself. Because one thing I would tell you, if you give my daughter a sanitary pad, what are you trying to say? Obvious. Avoid sexual intercourses. Talk about such things. Talk about STIs, STDs. Talk about
explain the change that is happening.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because some of these children are raised by fathers. They are not raised by women. There are no women at home. So now this child, when he gets to be in time, she will even be afraid to tell the father. And she would be needing the father to assist. So you should be able to workshop them into those things. That is what we would do. To say that to Ray, and I was fortunate enough that even Rainbow Seeds did donate a lot of sanitary pads and other companies. You know, you go to these schools, you advise them, you talk to them about these STDs, STIs, and what's not. And it's something that I'm looking at doing again this year. But I want to do it differently to such an extent that we do not only give women. If we give females this sanitary pad, then at least let's have the men, the females to be given something else also. I won't air it out because I will air it out and then Sivet decides to take it and make it his.
No.
So rather they see it when it happens. But I would need everyone else's support who's listening to this. But I believe that at the end of it all, they will get the contacts, and whoever who wants to donate something will put that, and then we move with it.
Don't count your chicks before your chicken hatches.
Otherwise,
that's it. Yeah, ngabala mantshontsho
amaqanda angekanansi.
Igama lamatshotshi, intshontsho lingekatshotshi. Hayi futhi ndikusalisa kanzima namhlanje.
Yeah,
ndikusalisa kanzima. I think I should just bring it to my to the audience, guys. We just have a production, technicalities here on one and man in Hamp. But there's a lot that you said. I was paying attention though. You know, there's a lot that you said. When you speak about motivation, I want to ask you this: when you look at the average South African child who's having dreams, who's having like all these aspirations, what do you think hold them back that would actually end up making them not successful or progressive in life? What is it that, because I think there's more people like who grew up like you, who wanted to be at this level where you are in life, right? But something happened to them. I don't know if you know, maybe that one guy in your class where like, what happened to this guy? There was so much potential. You understand? What do you think holds an average person back when you look at them in South Africa?
Yeah, Msakazi, one thing that I can tell you is that we have a lot of them. We have a lot of people that even, in school, I was always competing with people, especially when I was doing grade 12. The people passed with flying colors. Yes, I passed my grade 12 well. There are people that surpassed me. But the saddest thing was some of them, to see them after about 3 years done with matric, I was hurt at some point. Especially when I was in Eastern Cape, to see, or hey, some of them, they are even older than me, yet we are in the same age. Some of those things, they arise from the support. There's nothing important than the support. And the support starts from the household where you are staying. The support starts from the household where you are staying and the people that are close to you. You see, if you get support, but remember one thing, that this support are all alone. It is including finances. And the finances are the ones that are a driving force to some of these things from happening. For an example, I was never an NSFAS beneficiary. I was never a beneficiary of anything. But my parent would have to make it a point that I finish my grade 12. I go and I have a lot of diplomas. I'm even studying even now. But all those things, I was never fortunate enough to get from the government, and I studied. Some of the things, they come from this free money that we get, that we do not use it well. You see, once you get something for free, then you won't even mind what you are doing. Because you know that in any case, I will be able to get something because I'm eligible for it. So once you do something knowing very well that someone else's daughter had to sweat to put you where you are, then you will get the right thing. So it also depends from the way the homes where we are coming from. That is why you'd find that, making an example, a person who comes from a well-off family has nothing to show than money. Yes, money she can show. And the problem that we get is that we think that money, it is ours. You see, when your parents are still alive and they still give you everything that you need, it gives you that entitlement that you have everything in life. But immediately, God forbid, they pass on to glory. They pass with everything. And now you even start regretting, or why didn't you even go to school to study? By that time, you ask yourself those questions. You have 4 children or 5 children that you are supposed to be responsible for. Different mothers or different fathers. The problem starts now. The reality hits. That is where you'd find the person going back to say, hey, I want to go to do my matric rewrite and fix my matric. I want to go and study and do what's not. And you find that by that time, the responsibilities get even enlarged, because you have to take yourself back to school, and you have kids that you have to be responsible for to go to school. But one thing that I still stand with, it is the support. If you have the support, then you'll be able to do such things. The other thing that we make a mistake of is that we have dreams, we have aspirations of things that we would want to do. But now you find that, or you do something that you want to do, it doesn't work the first time, and you decide to leave it.
Yeah.
Giving up prematurely.
That is the most dangerous thing you can ever do. You do some, I emceed a lot of time when I started, and I did everything for free. People were even asking me, or you can't be doing such good work. Pela, emceeing is not an easy task at all. It is the most difficult thing ever, because you have to study the audience, study the people that have invited you there. If you get to a place whereby everybody is frowning and everybody is frustrated, stressed, and overwhelmed, you must create an environment whereby everyone is happy and and you are all alone. Facing 500 people, and now it's a very difficult thing. But one thing that assisted me into all that is the grace of God and the determination that I had to do something. Because before you get into the stage, you tell yourself, you know what, God, I'm going to do this, and I want this audience to be like this when they see me. And I have never went wrong. I do not remember a time whereby I emceed at an event and then I was asked aside, hey, you see here, you did not do it well.
Or you're good off the stage.
Never. I'm not lying to you. I have never ever received that, and I pray to God I do not find myself there. So when I'm Sivana, in what you have said, you are saying, I want to say this to the viewers also in Doba. Let's support each other.
I like it.
And it's not a matter of I know you, you know me. You know, I'm not boasting, but the support that I've got from strangers is more than the support that I've got from people that I know.
I love that.
That's
bro.
the most.
Please don't leave me hanging. I love it.
You see?
I love it. Yeah.
The support that I got from strangers mattered the most than the support that I got from the people that I know.
That's so true.
For an example, I have businesses. We'll talk about them later.
Yeah.
The people that support me in all my businesses are people I do not even know. I've traveled to Botswana, I've traveled to Mozambique, I've traveled to East London. I don't have any relations into those countries, into those provinces. But because of what people see on the social media, they are able to call me to do. When you are seated with me here, you won't even say, I cannot take my money and give it to Mongameli, the MC. You can get someone you don't even know there to do that. Yet you know that I can do the job very well. But the problem is that it's like now with us black people, sorry to say, and no offense intended to anyone.
Actually it's common amongst us. Yeah.
To give a black person money, it's like you're uplifting him or her. And that is where our problem is. For an example, as via podcast is here, maybe there's a need for sponsorships and support of some things, for an example.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised to find that it's a white guy from somewhere who can support this person. Yet we are seated around here, we know, right? We can assist this person. But
develop, Marlon.
I think it's the way we were brought up from the apartheid system until now. Because you see how Ethiopians support each other. Those people can be brothers and they are 10. They are not brothers by blood. But this one is coming from that family, the other one from different families. But when they get to South Africa or any particular country, they come up with a business and they are all part of that business. And they are making good money. But when Mongameli, the MC is here and say, Icon, this guy, it's either this guy will cheat on me or he will be rich. I can't make this guy rich. I would rather have my own money all along.
Yeah, that's a cancer we need it needs to be killed, man.
Yeah.
And it won't go anywhere. I'm telling you. You see the generation that we are at right now. It won't go anywhere.
Another thing I think that also perpetuates that thing, comfort zone. If you are out of your comfort, the same example you made about like Amachita from Ethiopia, they are not at their comfort zone. So they are at the foreign land. So if we are all here in Bloom, us guys from outside Bloom, we are so supportive of each other and we are and then people.
And by the way, like that's so true because you from
exactly.
I'm not from here as well. And this is the
Mm-hmm.
first podcast here, if not the biggest in Bloom.
So there's that
so
comfort zone. So we are out of our comfort zone, and again we know why are we here, and sometimes the place that we found ourselves in is not even that it's a greener pasture from where we come from. It's just that we came here for that particular thing. So we end up now creating this community, creating this vibe. And then if you understand background, we have some similarities, then that's where you get to click. So comfort zone. There are people who are like, I was born and bred. That mentality, it's also short-sighted.
I love it so much, Spijo. I wanna tell you how did Mongameli end up being here. Did you tell him?
We did not talk much about it. We were talking about Ezak Sekaya. Umkaya, meeting Umkaya and stuff. And on that one, just before you continue, I even asked him, Kirepra, I don't know you. How did you know about me? How did you bring me here? Hey, Pella, you are a celebrity. I searched and I got you. Wow. Yeah. That's it.
I do my research.
The person would be sitting there and thinking, I'm just a normal person. But for you to be, everyone is a celebrity, by the way. But it depends on what you are well known of. So what you are well known of is what brings us here.
Yeah.
And it's a great pleasure to come to Asuvai.
Yo, no, Mongameli, I want to tell the story of how you came here, right? As an emphasis or maybe evidence of what you are saying,
Yeah,
that we
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
support each other. So we were at what's the shop? The guy that linked us up, his shop. He's running a printing shop, right? Your friend.
Oh, Kev. Yes, Kev.
Yeah,
Kev.
we're at Kev's shop.
He
What's
also runs a design print company.
what's the name of the shop? So that we
It's Design Print.
Design Print.
Design Print,
You can
yes.
find it next to McDonald's in CBD. So basically,
Just front opposite the old CCMA building.
yeah. So we were there to make a amanzi for the UFS sponsorship marathon, right?
Yeah. The one
you remember President was
is
here,
running.
was talking about it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we were there to make that, and we meet that brother, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, and I asked him, I was like, can you come to the interview, my
To the
podcast and all that?
yeah.
It's like, Ish, I'm not good at that. And he came up, right? He was coming up from the office, I think.
I attended a meeting at the commissioner's office. So usually I would, Kev is
Pass
my
by,
friend,
yeah.
yes. So every time when I knock off, I would pass by him.
yeah.
So when I was passing by him, I'm carrying my laptop and everything, and I see the gentleman there. Yabon, what you want? This is the exact
Exactly, just like
Random.
divine moment.
Yeah.
Divine moment is like, I'm not that guy, but I promise you, this guy is. And I could see, like, because his grip is always sick, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, in my mind, that moment I was like, I wonder if you will agree to come. And that moment is like, no, my brother, you can have my number. I'm actually gonna come there. You understand? And since day one, when I texted him, he's been so much responsive. And I was telling you how other guests would drag the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So he was like, man, I'm really up for this. And I mean, we're not a podcast at this moment with high numbers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But he's just showed up, arrived in time. So this is like a true definition of what you're saying, that we gotta support each other.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
because you are here, I mean, you travel around and all that, people are gonna see what we're doing here. And it's you having contributed,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, the
you know,
numbers.
so it really means a lot. And I just wanted to put that as an evidence of what he's saying, that we gotta support each other.
Yeah.
We might not come from one blood or same blood, but if we need each other, we gotta support each other. And that's what I saw from him.
Let's uplift each other to be rich. That's the only thing.
Yeah, it's really
Otherwise,
sad.
everyone it's running after the
It's
bag.
every
right
man
now.
for himself.
So if we hold each other and run together, yeah, bro, we can get so far.
And the sad part is that as black people, we have the numbers, but we do nothing with that
Eish,
power of
that's the
numbers.
sad truth.
Yeah, Jongendlela, the way we are so poor, yet we have the numbers.
Yo,
But okay, let's
it's the
move on.
sad truth.
Can we get to your businesses?
Yes.
Yeah, you run a traveling agency,
Agency.
right? Yeah. What inspired that? Because you could have chosen any other business, right?
When I was in high school, I did tourism. And when I was doing tourism, my aim was to have my own tourist company.
Tourism as a module.
Tourism as a module, yes. So when I finished my grade 12, now I have to go to tertiary and study. You know that when you grow old, you will tell yourself, hey, I want to become a lawyer and stuff like that. And now when the reality hits, you find out, hey, I can no longer do law now. Let me try and compensate it with something else. And then I ended up doing other courses, doing other diplomas and other certificates and stuff like that. And along that, I told myself, I'm one person who likes traveling. My psychologist it's traveling. You
We're all
see,
together then.
I can be stressed, I can be frustrated. Yebo,
Once you
even
hit
if
the
I
road,
don't have money, once I hit the road for a mini vacation
man.
or a young vacation,
yeah.
brother, I will come back as a peaceful person ever.
Love it.
I go somewhere to Kimberley or to Nelspruit or Harties just to swim and see the nature, a different scenery from Bloemfontein. By the time I come back, I'm refreshed. So if I am able to be like that, how many people I can help outside?
how many people need that?
That peace of mind. That is when I started to say, you know what? I'm doing this KS Travels. KS Travels, actually, it's Khahliso Sididi traveling agency. When I started it, I did not even register it then. I did it as a small initiative. I started in schools, organizing their trips, those week trips. Just, there are schools that do not do matric farewell. It's either they do matric farewell or they go for a tour.
Yeah,
Then I would
it's
do
good.
that. And while I was doing that, I said, no, if I'm doing it for these young kids, what about the teachers that are also frustrated and are overwhelmed by these kids? After these kids, let them go. Then that is where I said, or no, let me do it for them. Let them have trips. And for you to have a trip, good people, I'm not saying that you earn a lot of money,
Yeah.
but your mental health is very important. From the little that you earn, I am telling you, can just keep on saving something. Take yourself out. Take yourself for a mini vacation.
Yeah.
Take yourself. You see, I have clients now that I know that each and every year they have an international trip. They also have 2 trips around South Africa.
Yeah.
Every year.
Trips.
One group is the Society for Women. It's here in Nguven Park, and others are at the locations there. So whenever, to an extent that I no longer even advertise my trips now,
Yeah.
because I know that every year I have groups that are able to compensate for all this, and it becomes a lot of work when you are not
too
doing.
much people.
Yes, you understand.
Yeah.
So we would get those trips done. We advertise something, they come, and then they go. What made me not to even stop? It's not something that it happens throughout the year. It's business. In business, it will be fine now. It will be
Off
frustrating
season
the
and
next
on
month.
season.
You understand?
Yeah.
But one thing that I run with when I do this, the vision and mission of that KS Travels is that explore, expand, experience. Now, in all that, your mental health comes refreshed.
I love it.
You leave your own ground, frustrated, stressed. You go there for a peace of mind. You get to know people. You get to meet people you do not know. Because in most cases, you can get there. I can tell you, or no, we are traveling. We will be meeting at Hoffman Square at 9. You are 26. When you come with your friend, you don't know the other people. When you meet there, you meet new people.
Yeah.
You meet potential employers. You meet potential friends.
Yeah.
And immediately that is where therapy starts.
Some of them meet their life partner.
There are life partners there, and that is where the therapy starts, because you start getting that therapeutic environment and sessions. And when I saw that people are living after all these trips, people are testifying about these trips when they come back. Karino, this is the it thing. Let it move. I registered it. It kept on moving. And after registering it, companies, organizations, they would come and say, hey, Mongameli, we need a quotation for 20 people, Hartis or Sun City.
Ubusa kwingoko yokutravela, you were talking about traveling, and I think you were talking about other, like, these groups funding, end up funding the traveling agency in a sense. And the other thing that you mentioned, which was important, Guti, you saw how much it helped you, and you wanted to expand it to
other people.
Yeah, to other people, which is like my approach to business when speech on Makaveli Uguti. When you start a business, there is no way your business will not be viable if it solves a real problem. I mean, everyone is going through something, right?
Yeah.
Wellness in this day and time is an issue, because we are connected as the world virtually, yet we are alone.
Physically, we are alone.
Yeah, so it solves something. And I can also attest to some of the things that you are saying about traveling. But I want to ask this question. What was your revelation in terms of traveling costs when you started traveling? Did you find out it was expensive? Did you find out like it was, did anything blow your mind at all around that?
Yeah. On that one thing that I can tell you is that your traveling is expensive.
Okay.
But cheap at the same time. Actually, not cheap, but affordable at the same time.
It's expensive but valuable.
Yes,
you get value out of.
You understand. And with tourism, there are things that you can do without even paying. There are things that you can do with money. As an example, when you talk of tourism, we don't talk about things that you have to travel and go visit somewhere. Have you ever, when Aspicho, just left your own comfortable zone, that is your house, and took a walk and just
Around.
go to a tafeni there or in the field and just sit there for some time alone, watch the birds flying and stuff? Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I enjoy going to the botanical gardens actually. And
you
entrance there, it's $40.
You
40
un-
rands.
you-
Yeah.
That is part of tourism itself. Because you go to places that you are not used to and you do something that can be able to assist you or your mental
We
health.
also have Naval Hill.
You know, there are a lot, you don't pay for such, but you
Yeah.
go there, you see animals and all those things. But now, on the expensive side of it, you find that you get a client who wants to go to Dubai or Mozambique. Okay, transport mode, driving is best because you get to see a lot of places, a lot of sanctuaries. Flight, you can get there. Most of the time, the people that I book for flights, it's the people that already know the place.
Mhm.
And now they just want to get there and start with
Quicker.
activities and come back.
Mm.
Then you get a group of people that is not used to the road that goes to Mozambique, Botswana, Zimbabwe, because it's the same route. It's either you use the northwest route or you use the Mpumalanga Malelane route.
Oh, okay.
Then you know that if you lose Malelane, it's Maputo, it's Botswana,
it's split. Yeah.
it's Mozambique. So you just choose which border post you are taking in that. They are expensive in terms of, okay, obvious, there's accommodation to be paid, there's transport,
Logistics.
there's, all the logistics, they're expensive. But one thing that I've learned, people would say that, as an example, would have a weekend, a long weekend trip to Graskop, Hazy View, that is in Mpumalanga.
Yeah.
When it is expensive, it is 6,000 rands for the long weekend. That is transport, accommodation, breakfast and lunch and snacks during the day, because we are busy during the day.
Yeah.
So there's no time to eat. You just need some light snacks or some light finger lunch. All the activities are paid for.
Yeah. On that
On
6K.
that when it's expensive.
Okay.
If we book early, it
Mm,
even gets to 5,000.
Mm,
But now when you book late, it depends on when people want to leave. It gets to that 5.6, 5 to 6,000, something like that. So you find that someone would regard it as expensive. The person needs to be there, but he says it's expensive. I've got that to an extent that people do not even go. Others, they do pay it, they complain, but when they come back, they even say, actually, this thing is more expensive than what you charged us. Because they see the value of it. They see, you know what, this is what we really needed. And from what when you book something as a group, it becomes cheaper than when you book as a single person. Because you find that a trip that you do for 6,000 with a group of people, it's a trip that you can do all alone for more than 15,000, 17,000, 18,000. So that is where the dynamics of something being expensive, something being less expensive come from. But per se, I wouldn't say it's that expensive, but it's something that it's doable. If we say that tourism is expensive, food is expensive. Life itself is expensive.
Yeah.
But
alcohol is expensive.
Hey, people will beat us. Don't say alcohol is expensive. Because even if you do not have money, a person can never have money, and the person will tell you that I don't have money, but you will see him holding a bottle of Hennessy or cognac, you understand, Jameson, getting drunk, but the person doesn't have money. And one thing that I've learned, you'd find that even those people, they are not that conversant and they are not that aware of all these things. There's a friend of mine who drinks a lot. There was a time I forced him that we go and buy wings at a certain restaurant. I won't mention the name because I'm not advertising here. The person went there and we ate the buffalo wings. They were very nice. It was his first time saying that he's a vendor guy. Alcohol can make us to deprive ourselves from things. I never knew that as wings. So you understand, he's used to boskop or braai meat and stuff like that.
Always keeping the change for the booze.
Yeah, you understand. But now, when you give them that experience to see things, a person will give him say, Raman, this thing is not expensive. And if it is expensive, you know why I'm saying that? Everything is expensive, but it just depends on how you coordinate your finances. The little that you get, it depends on the problems that you have that needs money.
That's true.
Because the more you get money, the more your problems accommodate the
yeah.
money.
More money, more problems.
That is why I even say that, there's a reason why God is keeping me where I am. To say that this is an amount that I get at work, this is an amount that I get from my trips and my side hustle and stuff. And actually, they told me that the businesses that I do, Mongameli, the MC, Kestra, I shouldn't call them side hustle if I'm working. Side hustle, they say it's the mixtapes there and all those things that you do and throw them in the world. This is not a side hustle, it's a business.
It's a business,
You
yeah.
understand? So when you start saying it is a side hustle, you are
demeaning
you are
it.
demeaning it and all that
Okay.
stuff. This is a business. For the fact that it stands and we're able to be here, it is a business. So it is not expensive, my brother. If you know that you want to go somewhere, get quotations. Every month you take something from the little that you earn, you put it aside. You will see the value of your money when you come back from there.
Yeah. And nice thing about a group traveling is that you also mentioned it discounts that you get, and then the more things you get for that money that you
Yeah.
have because you're traveling as a group. Yeah, and our country is so big and things like that. When you're speaking of Granskop, if maybe you're taking a quantum,
You understand?
there's 10 of you and there's enough space there.
Yo.
Payment yabantu abayi-2 would be petrol maybe just to go
understand?
there.
Yes,
And then
yes,
another
yes.
payment for other people for accommodation
Accommodation,
and
food.
njalo njalo. Yeah.
It sounds quite interesting. Maybe we should actually join it when I speak for this year December tour.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
we are for that.
Okay, okay.
Behind liking, outside liking the mic, we also love going around.
Okay.
He knows exactly what you're talking about when you talk about group traveling.
Traveling, yeah.
So we should actually look into
And
it.
like people, bastard stock fella. So the
Yeah.
way you have modeled your business is
It's
sort of
amazing,
similar
yeah.
to
And
Stokvel
I want
vibes,
to, while we are on that one, I want to challenge Asvai.
Okay.
I don't know when, but I will give you guys at least a good 5 months now.
Okay.
I want to challenge it that the records of August, at least maybe a 1 weekend of August, all those records for that month have to be done in Clarence. Clarence is just a 2-hour drive. It's a very nice, interesting tourist attraction also.
it?
You
Yeah.
will check it out. I want all those to be done that side. Asvai should be recording that side. So that is the assignment I'm leaving you with.
When is it? August.
Yeah, I'm giving you until August. August, let's travel and do everything.
And
that side.
we'll get into a discount prices since we are using
Yes,
KS
it's not a
Travels.
problem,
Yeah.
not a problem,
This is a
not a
plug.
problem.
Definitely.
And we are planning a
plug.
trip
Okay.
next week, ne?
We're actually going to Sandton. We're shooting in Sandton.
And
Oh,
Mpumalanga.
that's nice.
And
That's
Mpumalanga,
nice. That's
yeah.
You
nice.
must make time and go to those Kraskop and what God's and potholes and
Yeah, they're all in Hazy
God's
View.
window.
Mhm.
How far is it from Secunda?
It's not that far. Just that I'm not sure of the difference, the distance between.
Okay.
But
No.
when you go to Secunda, you off ramp somewhere when you are on your way to Mpumalanga,
Okay.
and then you just hit Secunda because Secunda is the side of Wheatbank.
Yeah, it's
That's
more
it.
industrial
Yes,
that side,
yes,
and then the
yes.
other side. Okay, yeah, I just forgot the name of that route.
And what are the challenges that you faced in this business?
Yeah, with KS Travels, one thing I can tell you, safety is very important. And we once got into an unfortunate situation in Mozambique
Sure.
because of safety. Sometimes when you go to these other countries, you're supposed to make sure, especially when people say, well, we are not from there. You're supposed to create a friendship that that when you get to the border, you create friends from the border post that that they will get you security when you're that side. Because you find that people, we won't even know which are the hotspot areas of crime. And we'll just go because that is a tourist attraction place. But when you get that, they will tell you, hey, there you don't step at this time unless you have security and stuff like that. So that is one of the things that I did to make sure that I ran away from that, because we nearly got into a problem. my second time we went to Mozambique,
Mozambique,
about that.
yeah.
So it's very important that you have safety, and it is very important that, again, when you travel, you know the people you are traveling with in terms of medical conditions.
Yeah.
It's very important, because I am not really after money. Yes, we are after money, but now
Yeah.
the money must come after we've made sure that the people that
Are
we are
happy
servicing,
and
they are
satisfied.
happy and they're satisfied, all of them, because what you do would be discomforting to me. And now, if we are traveling together, I must make sure that everybody gets the service of his or her own mind. So it's very important, again, that you make sure that you know the medical conditions of the people you are traveling with, because you travel with people. Kanti, there's one that is not supposed to travel long distances, and they get sick along the way. You don't have the medical history, and you get a lot of problems. And from that one also,
It makes sense why when you go abroad they would want that.
Yeah.
and it shouldn't start from there. It should start from the here. You know what? The same thing I would usually tell my students, that we write final examination in November, but now they write tests every month. The exercise that we do and the rules and regulations that we would read for them for the final, they are supposed to apply from the first internal examination that they write.
Yeah.
Because now you cannot tell me that the whole 11 month or 10 month they will be writing, it's the internal
Open book,
examination.
always open book,
and
always. Yeah.
the final examination comes and say that it's closed book examination. It's a problem. You cannot expect them. So it's the same exercise that I would always use to make sure that they are on the same board, and we know that if we travel with these people, this one is not supposed to eat this, this one is not supposed to be in the water, this one is not supposed to do things like that. There was a time I traveled with people to Hazy View, and a person disappeared in Lisbon Falls.
You.
That was in 2021, only to find out, to know the person, she was a traditional healer,
You.
and she did not communicate that she's I don't know what they call themselves, but she's a person of the water. She's the doctor of the water. and something like that. But
Then
now
the water took her
it did not take her, because after 3 hours she came out.
out of the water.
And luckily, they say that it usually takes Boma a week for those things to happen. It's just that it's something that I know it happens, so it did not frighten us that much. But the challenge would be, now you travel with such, and you don't know the family background and stuff. You can't even, we are leaving the person because she's in the water. So we don't know if she's going to come or she's not going to come. You understand things like that. So, so such things you also need to know, Hore, what is what, to avoid such things. As an example, you can go with people to the beach, yet there is someone who's not even supposed to approach the beach. The person is supposed to stay in the bus.
Africa, is it African spirituality?
Yeah, it's African spirituality. So in such
Goes
cases,
a long way.
it's a challenge. I am not going to talk about the fact that you have a trip. People have paid for the trip and you cancel it the day before the trip because people get unforeseen encounters. It has happened a lot of times.
And they want their money back.
Yes, you paid accommodation, you booked the transport, and now people want their money back. These businesses are not easy. And now you fight with people, you argue with people. You know, one thing that a black person refuses to do is to read. Because you'd advertise something and put a disclaimer there that no refund is non-refundable.
Or when you get your refund, you get a penalty,
A
30% penalty.
They can read everything, but that part they will never read it.
And then they will go on social media
and say that that is where they dent out KS travels and stuff like that. So sometimes there are situations whereby you would understand, in a case of bereavement and something like that. You'd understand, or a person really, there were times whereby people even said that, we have a bereavement, but we have paid. We just wanted to inform you that we're no longer going, but you can keep the money. But you can't keep it. You understand, or
knowing those people need this money more than, especially at this time.
On the kind of situations that we face with. But one thing that I can tell you, each and every business has a very big challenge. As much as it has disadvantages, you'll always find advantages there. It's a matter of trying to keep up with everything that you do.
So transport wise, do you have your own shuttle services or you outsource
I,
that
I
one?
don't even want to have my own shuttles as per now.
Okay.
Because if KS Travels manages to get the shuttles, well and good.
Yeah.
But now, if I get shuttles, do I want to say that I want to keep all this money to myself?
No.
Remember,
no.
I said earlier on, we must be able to assist each other to get to that level.
Yeah.
I get a trip of 5 people or 6 people, I call Spicho. Do you have a transport to accommodate 5 people to go to Johannesburg? That's how we manage to help each other. Because
Okay.
it's not a matter of all this money coming to me. Let it come to me, but let me give other people.
Circulate.
Yes, let me have service providers. Let me
Yeah.
not keep everything to myself.
Yeah, speaking about service providers and things like that, I heard earlier on you was talking about not being a beneficiary of NSFAS and things like that. How is the government or local authorities helping you or you wish to be helped by them, like the departments, the different departments?
You know, the department has a very big potential of assisting, especially in terms of tourism. We have a lot of people that would want to travel, especially from with the departments specifically. There's an initiative that I came up with, but I haven't exercised it yet.
Okay.
The
Let them not
mental-
copy it though.
Yeah, but I will try to put it in such a way that
Yeah.
the mental health of employees.
Mm.
You know, the departments have these team building exercises
Yeah.
and what's not.
Wellness.
But yes, the wellness. They have EAPs, employer, assistance program.
Yeah.
They are there. But one thing that I can tell you, that has become a uniform right now when I see it's no longer something that is assisting these employees. So in a year, to say that maybe it can be something of an employee refresher course. They just take the whole employees. It's a lot of budget, but it's something that is doable.
If there's a department for that, that means there's also a budget allocation.
They
for
they
that.
take
Team
them,
building
they
activities
take
and
them
things
out.
Like that.
They do camp. They get to do all these activities. They get on the same activities. There are workshops. All those things. The mental health programs and stuff like that. Because one thing that I can tell you, there's a person out there from the viewers who is seated here listening to everything that we are saying. That person doesn't even talk to the boss. He or she hates the boss like nobody's business.
Yeah.
There are those ones that are seated somewhere right now when I'm busy talking about this. There's like, yo, Mongameli, you don't know. There's an elephant in that office of ours every time. They can't chase away the elephant because those are the problems that comes when we're... So in such things, I will tell you one thing. These tourism travels, these travelings, they assist. And the only way they can be able to assist the employees is by the employers and the CEO coming on board to say that, let us discuss this. Let's see how we can help our employees in order. Because one thing for sure, a happy employee, your
Is more
productivity at work.
productive.
And your productivity at work, the company grows.
Yeah.
If the employee is not happy, your company is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And you won't see it until the day that you will find that it is bankrupt. So it's very important.
You see, this recording we are having today, it's has similarities with the one we had yesterday. Yesterday we had the physiotherapy, and he was also talking about that. At corporates, they deal a lot with corporates. So some fields, in some departments, in some companies, people are working hard and whatnot. Actually, everywhere.
And
because even if you are an office-based person,
Yes,
the way you
yes.
are sitting, the way he explained it yesterday was like,
Even now, and that's how many times it's been changing. Uyayidinga le physio. Uyayizona. But let's talk about money. Like you mentioned something important, that you don't want to have this pie all to yourself. Let's talk about some money principles that have actually helped you or make you progressive. Because fortunately, this one is not a conversation of blacks and white. It's a general conversation. Money is an issue to many people, and it's actually one of the things that would lead to wellness chaos. How do you deal with money? Like, what are some of the principles that you delegate in your own life? I think one of the things that I noticed when I got into business was that having money flowing in doesn't solve the money problem.
Mhm.
You understand? What are some of the discoveries and lessons that you find around money as a business person?
Msevan, one thing that I can tell you with what you are saying, they usually say when I speak, money is the root of all evil. And you see, when we talk about money, I'm sure even the viewers that were sleeping, especially the ladies, they are awake right now because we are talking
Especially the
about
ladies.
no offense, but they are awake right now. Msevan, with what you are saying, first of all, the most important thing when we talk about money, it's your mindset. I was telling these other guys I was seated with yesterday that your mindset is the one that determines how you use your money. Because, rewiring your focus and your thinking around finances assist you a lot. You can, how do I mean by that? You can earn, for an example, 6,000 or 5,000 out of everything that you're doing here. And you find out your expenses are 17,000 every month. But there's a big but where you find out, or in that 5,000 and those expenses of yours, come month end, they are all sorted out. Yes, you can have a little of a stress, but they are all sorted out. How you make money out of the other things, Luana yourself, you do not know how you manage to do that, but they are all sorted out and you're also already stressing for the next coming weekend. You still have at least 500 and something like that.
Left.
You get to have a person who has a job security. When you do not have a job security at work, the person has the medical aids and everything. The person earns more than 45,000, 50,000 a month. The person is broke as hell more than you, a person who earns that. You find that even that person comes to ask for money from you. When you are showing that person, now you are laundering money. You are lending money to that person, but the person earns better than you. It all depends on the mindset and how you use money. If you could have heard earlier on when I said that the more you earn, the more your problems will be. But the most important thing is to rewire your mind to make sure that your focus, when we talk about money, you know what is what and you know how to use the money. Because the more money you get, the more you use it for things that are useless. If you get a lot of money, I'm seated here, even I myself, I'm sure that if I get a lot of money, I think about cars, I think about beautiful houses, more expensive things and stuff like that. There's a person who would tell you, okay, what is the difference between buying plates from Pep and buying those plates where you find one plate is 600? I don't know what do they call those plates. They have a beautiful face. I just forgot what they are called.
Asikafike kulo level.
Eza plate ezinobuso.
Silahleke kamnandi.
Ithi xa usitya ubona ubuso balaa ntombazana xa umane usitya. They are very expensive. But what is the most important thing? They all serve food. They all serve the same thing. So your mindset is the one to tell you that I want this because I have money. I want this because it can serve a purpose. So when we're talking about that, I will tell you in my situation, for me to be able to have money, I must get money and use it.
How do you use it?
You find that, okay, I get money, I do the things that have to be done, which are the needs and wants.
The basics.
Yes. And after all that, what is remaining has to go to the savings account. While it is on the savings account, I must make sure. You see, one thing that I do each and every month, I may be as broke as hell, but there must be, it's either one family or it's either one kid outside there that I assist. I believe in that if I assist someone, as much as I do not have money or anything, I'll be able to get something from that. And I've been like that. So that is what I usually do and stuff like that. Now, the other thing I do not believe in, it's you get money, you save it for something that you do not even know. They usually say that in Sesotho, ulkhonata. Ustinchi ngesiXhosa, I think. Because now, you see, you can, the more you get something and when you want to save everything, that is where you will die broke. You use money to make money. So the more you get, try to see a development into something that you're doing and do that. Good. Keep money flowing.
Mm.
That is how we do it. Let money come, let money go, let it do something. But now, when it goes, let it do some things that are more important and that are valuable. Don't just get money and use it for something that you know that you won't get anything out of it. For an example, you get 5,000 rands, you go out by morning, you do not have it. Fine, you do not have it, but what you used it for, is it able to give you something in the long
In
run?
return.
Because now, if it's not giving you something, it's not benefiting you anyway, then it's a big problem, I could say. Spend it, accept something from it. It's that thing, Yaorin. If they are asking me to come and assist somewhere, my first question is yes, I am going to assist, but what is that event has for me? What am I going to gain from that event? If I'm not gaining money, then I must get something that I would be able to sit down and say that, Joe, I'm tired. I went to assist that. This is what I've received. That is how we work. But now, in my case, when we go back to Mongameli, the MC, you find that, hey, people, they use us a lot to say that, hey, Mongameli, I have an event and I need your services into this
I will
event.
give you exposure.
I will give you. Yeah, hey, bruh, we are tired of exposures. Now we are fine with exposure. Hey. We are done with exposure.
Babethu abantu, we lot
So
line
much
leyo.
exposure.
Exposure. Give you
We are
exposure.
done, good people. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We are done with exposures. Now it's time to do business.
Let's make
Because
man.
you know what?
Let it
Stefan,
circulate.
the issue here is that you cannot do an event, organize the whole event that you know that you need a driver for that event. Who is the MC? And then you pay for everything. You tell me that you do not have a budget to pay for the MC.
Master
No.
of ceremony.
Hey, but the PD. I'm talking about the program director.
Program
here.
director,
No,
yeah.
there's no such. So basically, what we are saying is that, well, in my case, I get money and I use it as long as I know that I'm going to get something out of that. But I cannot get money and use it for something that I don't know that by tomorrow I had 10,000. Now I no longer have anything to show or I used it for what. So it's very important that you get money. The little that you get, be able to generate more money out of it.
Yeah. Puti Khahliso Sididi.
Yes.
Well known as Mongameli.
Mongameli,
The
wait.
MC.
Mongameli, the MC.
Yeah. PD.
Aye,
the
Program director, Mhlekazi.
Yeah.
Aish,
Putwam, singathetha kuse.
injalo.
Yeah, but because of time, time is not on our side. Would like to wrap it up and apologize for the glitches and whatnot. Yeah.
No, you know,
Yeah,
these
today-
glitches.
Yeah.
If you could have listened to him earlier, he talked about the cap that he was panicking. He wanted that cap. I blame this cap because there's usually no glitches, but because of this green cap that is not there today, there are problems. But I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying this cap. But no offense, I'm not saying anything. But see that cap, bruh. Please make sure that next time you wear it, we don't want glitches.
Ndibene nentanga yakho namhlanje.
Hey, hi, kunzima.
Yeah.
Any last remarks? Do you want to say something?
Yeah, I was going there actually. Guti, yeah, the message to the young ones out there, and it's not even the young ones, our peers, my brother. We are the youth. We are supposed to be in power now.
That's
We're supposed
true.
to be calling the shots.
That's true.
But you
That's
know the
true.
status quo of our country, communities,
Yeah,
and our
yeah,
provinces, different as they are. What would you say? Because listening to what you are saying and the money and the business and the hustle,
Yes,
we are a busy man. We are busy man. I'm sure you even have a 9 to 5. You have KS travels. You are MC. Yeah. How do you balance all that? And then your advice to our peers.
Ed and Alapo put like outside our positions and all that, or included in that, you have a good energy, bro. You know,
so much.
yeah, you have a good energy. How do you also cascade that into people? Because sometimes it might not be about the money and all this, but how do you master thyself?
Yeah,
Do you understand?
yeah,
Because you have a very good energy. Like when I got here, my spirit was all over, but you just like, yeah, you just like gave me the home sense. Yeah.
Hey, but sisebenza kanzima, man. That is what I can say. And with regards, yes, there is a part time of 9 to 5, and on that 9 to 5 also, you know, every lunch that I get, I do my own businesses. I must check on the diary of KS Travels, Mongameli, the MC. I believe that there is a time where I'm going to get to a level whereby I will have people that are assisting me, because I always like to make sure Hore, I give out also to other people, as long as there's money that we can use to just thank each other and something like that. Fortunately, by now, I'm not that prominent of a person, but hey, I have a company that graced me with VIP protection.
Sure.
Mm.
Wherever I travel, I have my guys that are making sure that I'm protected. And on that, I'm at work from 8 until 4. After 4, I have to look at Mongameli, the MC. I'm studying again.
Mm.
I have to look at the books. While I'm on the books, I have to look at KS Travels. But you know what? I thank God, because He has given me the power and wisdom to be able to run all these things concurrently. So, and when doing that, that is what also motivates other people and inspire other people to say that, hey, this person. I was talking to you over the phone when I was coming to say that, hey, when you were asking me how far am I, you are not yet here. And I was telling him when I speak by, hey, bruh, I'm exhausted.
Mm.
I can't even drive, but I'm already at Mimosa.
Sure.
By that time, I just received e-location.
Yeah.
Because he knows that yesterday I had a very big event, Yemarumo Galants, where I was emceeing, and it was from 8 until 6. It ended at 6. And by that time, I'm standing all the time. The throat becomes dry, you drink water, and then it moves. And the energy was maintained. And
That's what I'm saying.
And you know what I like? I don't like telling people how I did the event. The only people that can be able to tell them how I did the event is the audience.
Feedback.
And then the feedback from the audience, bruh, it's always it's always top notch. So one thing that I can say is that the energy depends from loving the job that you're doing. You see, if you love the work that you're doing, you'll always have energy for it.
I love it.
And you'll always give the same energy to people. There's this say, I will offer the same energy that I get. It's dangerous. Very dangerous, that thing. They usually use, I'm sure, speech, or you might be using it in the relationship that you are, whatsoever. It's wrong.
Actually, I always give 100%. This thing of 50-50.
It doesn't work.
Where
Sometimes
does that other 50
you
goes,
understand?
or why do I keep it? I give 100%.
It's a simple thing. Become a bigger person.
Always.
If they give you bad energy, provide good energy. Let that person wonder why you are giving him or her that energy. That's my motto.
Yeah.
Whatever you give me, I will give you the best, so that whatever the problem that you have, you'll deal with them yourself. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for really inviting me here. And we have spoken a lot. And I would like to say to my peers out there, the youth, the only thing that keeps me driving, and that I always tell people, is that we do what we must do in order to do what we want to do. Because there's always a need in everything. And the need is more important than the want. So do what you need to do. And I'm telling you, everything will be flawless. You will be able to do what you want to do. Because if you don't do what you must do, or what you need to do, there's no way you can do what you want to do. That is where we find ourselves failing in the journey of life, because of the things that are happening. A person does something because she just wants to do it without seeing the need of that thing. So my message to them are that they never fail in the journey of life.
Let's fail forward.
Thank you, sir.
Love it.
That's why.
Thank you for thank you. I want to ask this question. We're all going somewhere, right? And that's why we started this as via podcast. It's that we realize there are people on the journey. Some people are doing well, some people are actually doing better.
True.
How do we cascade the same principles to the ones that wish to be them? Or they wish to be progressive as well. So the last question I want to ask you, when it's all said and done, what do you hope you say about yourself when you get there, where you are going, and what do you hope your family will say, together maybe with your mom, wherever she is, what do you also hope the community would say about your journey?
On that note, when I'm Sivan, I'm one person who tells myself that I am not supposed to get the reassurance from the family or from the community. But the most important thing for me is to do why I'm saying this is because you can do the best for anyone. But as long as the person doesn't see anything onto that, there's this jealousy of some sort. And the people will never like what you do as long as it doesn't benefit them. So in this case, I always tell myself that I do the best I can do. And then they will like what they like from it, and then they will not like what they won't like from it. But my main thing is that from everything that I do, my community should be proud of me, and my family should also be proud of me. But most importantly, whatever that I do that when I get there, I'm able to assist the upcoming generation. Because my movement is that I don't move alone. I move with other people. Because moving alone, it won't assist me anywhere. When I move, let me move with other people so that when I get there, I'm able to say that I am here, but I managed to be assisted so and so to get into that, and the other one to get into that. Not to be there alone and then boast alone. Let me boast with other people to say that good people who have done this. I did not do it alone. Because this thing of this credit of I did it alone, I did it. Let's do it.
Being the only one.
Let's
the
do
first
it.
one.
You understand? Let's do it all, and let's do the best, and let people have the best out of everything.
Nice. Thank you so much, my brother. Reporting out from Bloemfontein.
Thank you.
Until we see you again. Maybe our second episode will be, or our second part of this
Yes,
will be in
yes.
Clarence.
Not a problem.
Right?
Not a problem.
It might be earlier than August.
August. No,
Yeah.
let's wait for it to come. Let's wait for
Alright.
it to come.
Thank you so much for watching up to this point. Until we see you again. And don't forget to share this conversation to someone who might need it more than you do, or who will need it like you do. And yeah, just don't forget to subscribe as well. Until we meet you again, my friends.
That's why.
That's why.
Danko.
Okay, we